everybody's circling around to the top of the turn. This is Heat 2A. Again, giving you a rundown. Wahoo, Thripway, Short Circuit, What a Pickle, Super Test, and Shanty. 6 in all. As they get ready to go, they mill around up there at the top of the east turn in the Detroit River. Miss Thripway is coming up on the far side of the east turn now, going around next to Chuck Thompson. Bill Munsey having had several duels with Short Circuit and Chuck Thompson. Now everybody's beginning to shape up. Thripway is going extremely wide, coming down. Most of the boats are coming down very slowly. Here you see the watch closing off. They must not come down to the line. Thripway is coming down real hard now between boats. So is Shanty. And Short Circuit is coming on the inside. And Wahoo is beginning to move. Everybody's jumping and going. Here they come. It's going to be a tight start. And it is Short Circuit on the inside. Wahoo on the inside. It's an all-right start. Short Circuit off to a beautiful start. This Super Test was last across the line. Bob Hayward having trouble with his engine. Now, as they move into the west turn, here is a tremendous duel for you. As Thripway was off in second place, Short Circuit got a beautiful start on the inside corner. Wahoo was buried in the spray. Now let's see how they move into that corner. As they move around in there real hard. Notice how closely they are bunched. A real great start. And it's Short Circuit in first place, followed by Miss Thripway. It's a two-boat duel at the moment. And Shanty is way back. Wahoo is in there real hard. Now let's move them as they move back, up over the exit, out of the west turn. Short Circuit is still in front. Thripway on the outside. Wahoo is second. And we have Shanty on the inside. It's a four-boat race. Here's your lead boat now, up the inside corner, Short Circuit. And on the outside corner, you have Miss Thripway, the Gold Cup champion, coming on the outside, as Chuck Thompson is having a hard time. Then back of her, we have two more boats, and then back of her, two more just coming off the exit buoy of the west turn. Here is Thripway running in first place. And it's Short Circuit in second. And then it's Wahoo and Shanty running a two-boat duel for third and fourth. And Chuck Thompson having trouble going through the rough water into the east turn. And then Super Test is out there, and the rest of the field strung out. It is Short Circuit on the inside corner. It is Miss Thripway on the outside. And here's a two-boat duel reminiscent of what we had last year in the Gold Cup on the same river when Chuck Thompson was driving Miss Pepsi. Here comes the end of lap one for Miss Thripway running in first place. Thripway at the end of lap one, running in first place. Chuck Thompson in second place in Short Circuit. 5 seconds behind as they start lap number 2. Wahoo coming down now in third place, and Shanty in fourth. Less than 2 seconds between the two boats. They go for third and fourth. Super Test. And then What a Pickle in last place. Now as they move into the east turn, Bill Munsey still running in first place. And it looks like Super Test is going to be out of it. Her engine died just as she went across the line at the end of lap one. Thripway is moving hard. Here comes Pickle across the line at the end of her first lap. As you watch the first place boat coming up the west turn off the exit buoy, Munsey and Thripway is in first place. Thompson and Short Circuit is in second. And now we have Wahoo moving to third, and Shanty is in fourth. Approaching the 1,000-foot mark, 1,000 feet away from the finish, and winner of Heat 2A, Bill Munsey in Miss Thripway. Just coming up the backstretch at the three-quarter mark is Wahoo on the far side of the course. Winner of Heat 2A, Miss Thripway. To pick up another 400 points. Her time and her last time around, the fifth and final time, 106 miles an hour unofficially. We'll have her unofficial average for you very shortly. Her total elapsed time prior to going into this Heat 2A was 8 minutes, 38 and 2700 seconds. Here comes your second place boat now. Wahoo, driven by Miroslavak. Miroslavak gets second place. And your third place boat is just now lapped What a Pickle and has moved halfway through the top part of the east turn. Short Circuit, driven by Chuck Thompson, coming out of the east turn. Ready to complete his fifth and final lap. He'll get a third place finish out of it. And Shanty, in fourth place, is halfway through the top part of the east turn. That's Short Circuit. Chuck Thompson at the wheel.
In January 1959, construction of Miss Supertest III began at the Thompson Sunningdale farm north of London. The new boat, designed by Jim Thompson, was 4 inches shorter, 30 feet 8 inches long, with a beam of 12 feet 6 inches. It was also 500 pounds lighter and powered by a 2,000 horsepower Rolls-Royce Griffin 65 engine. The Thompsons were building a boat to win, sturdy enough to stand up to the crushing water pressure exerted on its hull surface when at full throttle, and trim enough to turn at high speeds, to grip the water and accelerate faster. The new boat, the Rolls-Royce engine, and driver Bob Hayward, a chicken farmer from Embro, Ontario, would all prove too much for successive American Harmsworth contenders. The glory years for the Supertest boats were about to begin. The 3 Miss Supertest boats had several drivers. Will Braden, Art Asbury, and Danny Foster all drove for the Thompson family. Hayward started as a mechanic, but when he took over the driving, the Miss Supertest team began to make magic. The Harmsworth International Race was held in Detroit in August 1959, and after 39 years of American domination, the Canadian boat, Miss Supertest III, emerged victorious. It was the first of 3 successive victories for the Supertest team, the Thompson family, driver Bob Hayward, mechanic Bruce Wells, and crew chief Vic Leghorn. In races held at Picton, Ontario in 1960 and 61, Miss Supertest III roared to victory. To this day, there is a generation of Prince Edward County residents who still remember these summer races, the long trailing rooster tails from the Harmsworth contenders, and Bob Hayward's dousing of dignitaries as he swept by the judging stand on his victory laps. The noise and power of Miss Supertest and her competitors would never be heard again in the waters off Longreach near Picton. 3 weeks later, on September 10, 1961, at a race in Detroit, Bob Hayward died while driving Miss Supertest II. He was only 33 years old. The story of Miss Supertest, her driver and owners, faded from view in the decades that followed. The boat was displayed at the Ontario Science Centre for many years before retiring to a storage facility in London, Ontario, that it shares with a collection of vintage Cadillacs.
Sans oublier évidemment l'embarcation numéro 4 Pure Canadian de Chris Galbraith de Belleville en Ontario, champion en titre ici à Valleyfield et champion en titre nord-américain. Le Joker de Robert Choquette ne prendra pas le départ, il est en panne. Et les voici maintenant à 5 secondes du départ, le départ sera bon. We have a great start on this race. Et dès le départ, c'est Fantasy de François Murphy qui prend les devants. Fantasy, driven by François Murphy, took the lead at the start, but going into the first turn, dans le premier virage, c'est Vision de Ronaldo. À l'extérieur, on the outside, coming fast, voilà, maintenant tête Pure Canadian. Now in the... Oh, Pure Canadian a presque perdu le contrôle de son embarcation pendant quelques secondes. Encore une fois, ça brasse beaucoup dans le virage maintenant, à fond de train. Vision a pris les devants. Ronaldo de Saint-Étienne a pris les devants et c'est lui qui mène après un tour. After one lap, it's Vision de Ronaldo. Deuxième, second, Pure Canadian. Troisième, third, Fantasy. quatrième Ford, Plumber's Friend. Et c'est toujours Vision en tête dans le virage du deuxième tour, le premier virage du deuxième tour. Pure Canadian qui accélère mais ne parvient pas à rejoindre Vision. Voilà, c'est fait maintenant. Pure Canadian has retaken the lead from Vision. À l'extérieur, on the outside, c'est Pure Canadian. À l'intérieur, on the inside, Vision. Deuxième virage du deuxième tour. Une lutte à finir entre Vision et Pure Canadian. Opposant Ronaldo de Saint-Étienne à Chris Galbraith, le champion nord-américain de Belleville en Ontario. Après 2 tours, halfway into the race, c'est Pure Canadian en tête in the lead. Deuxième, second, Vision. Troisième, third, Fantasy. Quatrième, Ford, Plumber's Friend. Cinquième, fifth, Got Money. Vitesse moyenne de notre meneur, Pure Canadian, 77,52 000 à l'heure. Average speed of our current leader, Pure Canadian, is 77.5 miles per hour. On se dirige maintenant vers le dernier virage du troisième tour. Into the turn, last turn of this third lap. C'est toujours Pure Canadian. Pure Canadian toujours en tête, still in the lead. Deuxième, second, Vision de Ronaldo. One lap to go, un tour à faire pour le meneur Pure Canadian de Chris Galbraith. Deuxième, second, Vision qui a ralenti un petit peu. Troisième, third, Fantasy de François Murphy. Quatrième, fourth, Plumber's Friend. Voilà Pure Canadian qui a augmenté son avance en tête. Un demi-tour à faire pour le meneur. 78,39 000 à l'heure. Vitesse moyenne de Pure Canadian. Dernier virage pour le meneur. Il s'amène maintenant dans le droit pour le drapeau à damier. Pure Canadian s'amène et on l'accueille, mesdames et messieurs, le champion nord-américain, Chris Galbraith, le gagnant, the winner. 3 minutes 47 secondes. Deuxième, second, Vision de Ronaldo. Troisième, third, Fantasy de François Murphy. Quatrième, fourth, Plumber's Friend, conduit par Robert Trash de Miami. Cinquième, fifth, Got Money. La vitesse moyenne du gagnant, Pure Canadian, 78,9 000 à l'heure, ce qui est la vitesse moyenne la plus rapide dans cette catégorie depuis le début des qualifications. Average speed of our winner, Pure Canadian, is 78.9 miles per hour, which is the fastest speed so far in these qualification heat in the 5-liter.